Hiya folks, it's Kikoskia here, just letting you know that this video may contain scenes that are not suitable for people that suffer from epilepsy. Please keep this in mind if you're intending to watch the video. And now, on with the show! Welcome folks, one and all, to Let's Replay Action 52 for the Sega Genesis, released in 1993, 2 years after the NES version. Developed by Farsight Technologies and published by Active Enterprises, this is an unlicensed compilation game, and the second game to have the Action 52 name. This is not a port of the NES Action 52. Some people may think that, because they recognise some of the names here, like Ooze and Cheetah Men. But Farsight Technologies spent a year developing 52 different games. Even though some of them share similar themes to the NES ones, they are different, for better or for worse. These games also got a fair bit more playtesting than the NES games, in part because Farsight Technologies applied pressure to Active Enterprises to give them that time to playtest. The music unfortunately was made over 48 hours, and you'll be hearing quite a few music tracks that repeat over and over again. To be fair, you'll also hear lots of sound effects that repeat over and over again, as well as game types that effectively repeat over and over again, but they are different games, they have different numbers and different art. There are 52 games here, and they are colour-coded for your convenience. Beginner games are green, intermediate games are purple, expert games are yellow, two-player games are blue, and challenge games, of which there are only a few, are white. It does make you wonder why they put all of the expert games at the very beginning. But hey, this just means we'll have a harder beginning in playing through this game, and things will get slightly easier as we move forward. I say slightly easier because there's no guarantee that things will actually get easier. Even though there was quite a lot of playtesting compared to the NES one, as I said before, that doesn't mean these games are good. Most of these games are not good. This cartridge was definitely not worth the really high asking price for it. So why am I returning to Action 52? Why do I dare reopen Pandora's box of awfulness? The answer is simple. Even Action 52 deserves a second chance to impress me. Maybe one of these 52 games will impress me in some way. I'm not holding my breath on that, but I will give each one a fair chance. I will either play up until a point where I get stuck, or die, or it gets too monotonous and I decide to switch over to a different game by purposely losing all my lives. That could happen in quite a few games. It's more likely that I'm just going to lose all my lives because the mechanics are not explained to you. There are no instruction screens at the beginning of any of these games. It's up to you to figure out how to play. Perhaps the instruction booklet had all of the controls, though I somehow doubt it. So let us begin at the very beginning with Bonkers. Or Go Bonkers, as the splash screen tells us the game is called. This game does have a splash screen. Not all of them do. Does this tell you anything about how to play the game? No. But that ball looks very happy to be here. Maybe it's a part human ball. You'll see why I say that in a moment, as we go into the game and hear a voice line.
Level 1.
It's a very clear voice line. We'll be hearing that one a lot, because every game here has a level 1. You can see that there is a background here that's not really going to change in any of these levels. This is kind of like Breakout, except not, because we have to get rid of all of these, and then get rid of the grey blocks with the green dot in them. We can change us moving left and right whenever we like, but we can't stop ourselves from bouncing up and down. We're currently a green blob. We then have to change into either a blue, red, or pink blob to get rid of all of the other ones. Don't touch the thing in the bottom left. That will get you killed. We are getting points. We can't see it. We also can't see the time either. We do have a time limit. How generous is it? It might be generous, it might not be. All I know is that this level is indeed too easy. The way to die is far over there. We're nearly done with this one. This might be the most successful that we are in any game for quite a while.
Level complete.
Level complete, and we have 2,460 points, which is good.
Level 2.
This level introduces the key mechanic. We'll be hearing this tune quite a lot in many of the games, and we want to make sure that we don't touch that blue thing there, because if we do, we can't switch back to green. We also don't want to touch that yellow one, because the yellow one is for picking up keys. Now we can touch the blue one, and get rid of all of these here. We'll get rid of all the ones on the top first. We'll probably hear this sound effect again in a different game. So far, for the first game you get in this compilation, I have to say this game is very slow. Very slow. You'd think they'd put something a little bit more action-packed at the very beginning, but no! The first thing you get to play is a slow-paced puzzle game. We're going to get this key, and then we're going to open that. And we'll go back over here, get this again, and then open the other side. We need to have these open so that we can access those red blocks. Are you thrilled yet? Are you excited at all the power that the Genesis has to offer? The Sega Genesis could do a lot better than this. A lot better, even with games that have multiple games on them, because later on they did start making compilations of games on a single cartridge. They were a lot better than these. Got to watch out for that cross there, because that will get us killed, and we only have so many lives. Don't worry, the third level's likely going to get us killed as well, because it's really tricky. I imagine there are people out there that are much better at this game than I am. But this is a really tricky level. The wrong way is talking about that left-right icon there, and we exploded. Notice that there was a human sound of pain, which makes me think that we're a kind of human ball hybrid. The game's certainly not going to tell us. Getting these green ones here is actually really tricky. Remember that we've got to get these first because of the fact that, and we are a little bit stuck. We're not stuck anymore though. Got to make sure that we get this one and then get these. There we go. Now we can go over to here, barely avoid that cross, and try our best to avoid that there. But we can't, which means that all of our controls are now reversed, which makes getting past those ones extremely tricky. The only thing that works in our favour is that any blocks that we've gotten rid of are still gone. That's quite good. So we can go over to here, then get this, and we can get rid of that there because that was a red one with a grey filling. Unfortunately, I accidentally crashed into that. I was trying my best to time going into there, completely failed. And I completely failed there as well. I can never get past this level. There might be some really complicated levels further along, but I'm probably never going to get to them. Especially considering the fact that my controls have now been reversed, and it's quite difficult to go and get this. But I managed. Now my controls are... wasn't quite sure if they were back to normal or not. It seemed a little bit confusing, the movement there. But it doesn't matter because we wouldn't have got past that anyway. We're back to the title screen. We get no game over in that one. And after that thrilling game, it's time to go to Dark Side. This game also has a splash screen with a line through it. It's not meant to have a line through it, but it does here. Does that matter? No! What does this game have you do? You are this ship here, and what you need to do is you need to shoot all of these. Some of these buttons make you move, some of them activate a shield, and some of them just shoot. We need to get rid of all of these things here. We also need to be very careful because we have to control our momentum very carefully. Let's be careful. Some of these will fire back, some of them won't. We've got to not collide with the, there we go, not collide with the walls. Level complete! I can usually get through the first level. The second level, however, gonna be a bit harder, because we automatically start falling. There appears to be some form of gravity here, and you can now see the difficulty in this game, which is that the
Level 2.
enemy installations in my Dark Side Empire will shoot you even when you are not on the screen with them. It makes getting around quite
Level
difficult.
2.
And unlike the game we were just playing, everything reappears when you die. So we want to get rid of you. They are very accurate, by the way. They're very accurate. Let's go up here. Maybe I can get to level 3. We'll certainly try. We have to fight the Dark Side Empire after all. And the hitboxes for the projectiles are very precise, which I quite like. Don't want to hit any of these, though. We got you. Let's go. Oh, careful. Careful. Can we get that one up? Getting that one up would be nice. You've got to be careful, though, because of the fact that some of the stars in the background look a lot like projectiles. Careful. There are a few things here, and unfortunately, we perished.
Level
The Dark
2.
Side Empire may be victorious. Deal with you. Deal with... Nope, can't deal with you. We will never see level 3. Is that so bad? Probably not. Let's move on to a different game. A 2-player game. Do I have another person with me? Let's look around. No, I appear to be alone. This is going to be short. We are dinosaurs. We are playing tennis. With people. But only one of the buttons actually swings your leaf racket. And I didn't press the right one. But now I know it, which means that I will win against my opponent that is either so bored they're asleep, a statue, or not alive. Did you hear the sound when I batted the human back? It's a familiar sound because it's the death sound from Bonkers. Will we actually ever hit it back, or will it just keep going to my opponent that's not there? There we go! You heard that sound. I think we're winning this one. This might be the only game I win. We're doing pretty well. Set 9. 8-1. Victory is ours! Aha! I won't be saying that often in this game. It brings us back to the title screen. Time to play Ooze. Ooze was a bit of an infamous game in the NES version. In this version, it's just a bit peculiar. There is a splash screen for this one, a sinister looking one. And that music again.
Level 1.
What we need to do is we need to get all of these keys. You may think this will not be that difficult. We have a quite good jump, we can't shoot while we jump, and there's a bit of a loud thud when we land. We will die, however, if we fall too far, so we're going to have to be careful with getting on this platform. That is covered in ooze, at least the title of the game is accurate in that regard. Here is a crusher. The crusher will, predictably, crush us. We can't shoot while jumping, so we need to avoid you and get over to here so that we can shoot you. There we go. Will we get you here? Maybe. And there we go, you're gone. Now the problem with this is that if we go up here, there's a key, fair enough, and there's that horrifying monstrosity over there. Let's not think about that thing, and instead look at the fact that we can't actually get up here. That platform's not going to take us there, and there's no other platform that can get us up there. And here is this puzzle. There's a key here, we've got that. Downside is, we now have to go get that key. How are we going to get that key with the timing as it is? Maybe if we go over here and nope, we've imploded on ourselves because that's what happens when you die in Ooze. Also, watch out because the enemies do not reposition to back where they're meant to be when you die. There's a good chance here, unfortunately not so, that we could have died immediately after reappearing. We have no invulnerability when we reappear. So let's see if we can go and get this again. What's the timing like here? The timing is still completely out. Maybe if I go... Nope, that's probably just going to get me killed. But I'll try anyway. Nope, implosion was our fate.
Level 1.
By the way, you may think that that thing in the middle there, also watch out for this enemy that's immediately going to get us, and I mistakenly jumped thinking I could get over that foe. Of course I can't. But they're gone now. You'd think you can jump on this. No. That just leads to oblivion, where this game probably belongs. Let's forget about Ooze and instead focus on Starball. This one has no splash screen, and is a kind of pinball game. The problem with this pinball game is that you can reliably get one of the things to go up, but the other one, not so much. I have a feeling that you have to press two buttons together to get the other one going. Let's check this. No! Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a little finicky in how you get the left flipper to function. And if you can't get half of the flippers in a pinball table to function, you've got a bit of a problem. Ah, it's left. I figured it out. It's left. Why is it left? That's a good question, but now that it's left, we can rack up an unlimited amount of points by just constantly using the flippers. You'd think it would be one of the other main buttons. Why left? No wonder I was having difficulty finding how to actually do anything with that flipper. But now that we know, we have the power. Will we see any of these things around anywhere else? Maybe. But did you notice that that clipped straight through the paddle? It really doesn't matter what you actually do, you eventually will lose just because of the physics. Also, that very nearly went back in to there. Can it actually get into there? Who can say? But the physics of that pinball table is all over the place, so even if you only know how to use one of the flippers, you probably won't do much worse than if you actually know how to use both of them. Let's go to Daytona after Sidewinder, because Sidewinder sounds like an entertaining flight simulator. There is a splash screen, it's got explosions, it's got a plane. Let's see what the action's like.
Level 1.
Afterburner, this is not. That is your firing animation, by the way. This, oh, we have a missile threat. Watch out for that missile. The missile is gone. We are flying over the generic lands of green stripes, and there is a missile coming after us. The missile is gone. Are we ever going to get any closer to those mountains in the distance? Probably not. There are loads of missiles. No planes, though. We had that one plane. And then there's another one. We make them flash red and yellow, and they go. Not a lot is really happening here, is it? We're just sort of flying in a featureless void. We do see things, but it effectively is a void. There's nothing for us to crash into. There's a plane there. It's gone now. You can also see that there's no base anywhere in the distance. Where are we flying to? The clouds look like they're right there, but they're not. We can take care of you. And we can fly actually quite a bit over to the left. No wonder we're missing all of the threats because of... Oh, and we flash there and are gone. We were hit by a missile and we have 4 lives to expend in this game. 4. With nothing to crash into, the only way we can really die is if we're hit by a missile, which is quite likely to happen if I'm not careful. Also, did you hear that scream? We've heard that scream before. Or have we? It sounds very similar to the other one. Even if we haven't heard it before, we'll be hearing it a lot more in the future. Because that scream, I think, is used quite a bit. Where are these missiles? We'll never know. Are we far to the left? I think we're far to the left on the screen. There are more planes here. I don't quite know if they're actually trying to do battle with us or if they're just flying away from us. Maybe they're flying away from the flat, endless void kingdom going, flee! Flee while you can! Somehow we got through level 1, everyone. Hooray! Let's go to level 2 of Sidewinder. The music's changed. Nothing else has really changed, except there are probably going to be more missiles. Oh yes, there are going to be more missiles. Can we survive? Are we the top gun? We're not even the secondary firearm. We're that gun that you really hope you don't have to use. We are not an especially great pilot, but we are taking care of all of these planes. We might actually get to level 3. If that is, we can avoid all of... Nope, can't avoid that one. Should have really flown up. Does it really matter in the end? We're not ever going to reach our destination. We're not getting any closer. The clouds are moving, though. They're at least managing to get out of here. I don't know where the missile's coming from. I just know there are many of them, and now they're gone. We can also fly down, and have even more of this on the screen. There's a missile from somewhere, up here. We're going to find out now if these planes actually deal any damage to us. No, they don't. The missiles do, though. Got to avoid those missiles, and I failed to avoid that missile. I didn't do enough tricky maneuvers. And so, with our final life, we consider Sidewinder. The 3D effect's not that bad on the ground, but the fact that it's stripy sort of just makes it glaringly wrong. The gameplay, not exactly solid. But we are to level 3. Do we get a life for getting to level 3? No.
3.
The true challenge begins now. It looks a lot like the other challenge that we were just facing. But there are more planes. Will we face anything other than a plane? Probably not. Oh, there's a missile. Avoid the missile. Did the missiles appear for longer? There are more of them. And we're doing pretty good at avoiding them. There we go. There's one. Avoid you. Ha-ha! There are more missiles here, though. Must avoid them. And we have unfortunately failed. Our amazing career as a pilot is over. And when we come back, folks, we are only 6 games in to the 52 that Action 52 has to offer us. There's so much more in our future, and so far we haven't found one that's really impressive. But maybe Daytona will impress. Who are we kidding? It's probably not going to, but it might. It might. Or maybe 15 Puzzle. The mystery will be solved next time. And I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.